Welcome everyone to Disruptive Conversations. And so glad that you're here today. We have a little bit of a glitch. I'll tell you about it, but we're ready to have a conversation. In any case, it will be a different kind of conversation. Hi, thanks so much for joining. Hello, Lola Sage, Fiona Apple. Thank you so much for being here. P. Cisco, thank you. Brianne Rose, Denver Jones, thank you. Concert Junkie, welcome everyone. Thanks so much for being here today. It's going to be different than any of us expected. Abby's phone decided to go completely wonky, and so unfortunately she's unable to get on today, but we're going to have her rescheduled. And that's going to be great. If you want to put into the chat where you're joining from, that would be great. And today, we're going to be talking about self-love. So first of all, I want to welcome all of you. Welcome to Disruptive Conversations, in which we deep dive into the experiences that people have needed to navigate and conquer in order to have been able to achieve a personal and professional success at this point in time. And we meet with women who are entrepreneurs, thought leaders, innovators, authors, educators, and hairstylists, people from all different areas who are coming aboard. Abby, I see you here waving. I don't know if you can join. Oh, and that's great. And so today, Abby's had a problem with her phone. Unless that changes, we're going to miss her today, but we're going to be rescheduling. I'll let you know when that's going to happen. And so today, it's going to be you and me, and we're going to be talking about self-love. So welcome. I'm Dr. Risa Reiger, clinical psychologist, and I'm an expert in change. And I help individuals, teams, companies make positive change. And positive change can happen at any point in time. That's the great news. But in order to make positive change, you need to disrupt. You need to disrupt a thought, a feeling, a belief, an action, and a habit in order to create your 10.0 life. And that's what this series of conversations is all about. And hi, good morning, good afternoon for wherever it is that you're coming in from. So today, since this is February, the month of the heart, the month of Valentine's Day, so we're going to talk about love. And today we're going to be talking about a different kind of love, and we're going to be talking about self-love. Thank you for coming in from Malaysia. That's great. And self-love is sometimes one of the hardest goals, one of the hardest things to achieve, one of the hardest actions, behaviors to really, hi from Kenya, to really hold on to and to embrace and to live. First, I'm going to start with the idea of, well, what is self-love? We hear about it all the time. Self-love, self-love, self-love. I'm going to give myself some love. And self-love, it's great to, have a great bath for yourself, to cook a nice meal for yourself, to take time and take care of your personal health, your emotional health. But I have a different definition of self-love that I really want to share with you. So, and I'll repeat it in case you need to hear it twice, which is that self-love is honoring and respecting ourselves so much. From Brazil, hi, so much. Self-love is honoring and respecting ourselves so much that we insist and we're committed to seeing all aspects of ourselves, no matter what, even and especially the messy parts. And that's what self-love is. Self-love is about committing and caring, respecting, and honoring yourself so much that you're willing and committed to seeing and embracing all aspects of who you are, including the messy parts, the parts that you want to just kind of not have a look at, the parts of yourself that may feel cringeworthy to you. And it is so important that we not cherry pick who we are and cherry pick what aspects of ourselves we're willing to embrace. Because when we leave ourselves behind, we're leaving behind our energy, our ability to deal, the communication that we have with ourselves that this is so bad that I can't even look at it. And it's crucial that you pivot at those moments and be willing, have a willingness to see all of who you are. And self-love isn't about, I'm going to love myself, I'm going to be kind to myself, I'm going to love myself when I get the job, I'm in the relationship, I lose 10 pounds, I learn another language. It's not about that. Self-love needs to start and build right now, no matter what is happening, no matter what's going well for you, no matter where your pain points, your struggles, or your challenges are. Because you need you to be able to move forward. And that is the most crucial piece that you can have. Self-love is unconditional. Unconditional. And here's the thing, is that when we need self-love the most is when we're in our hardest spaces. And at that point, it's hardest to find. So what I'd like you to do right now, if you could, is if you have a piece of paper with you, anything, talk it into your phone, it doesn't matter what. Determine what is one thing about yourself, one thing that you can ascribe to about who you are unconditionally. One thing that you know to be a foundational and fundamental truth of yourself. And write that down. Put it in your wallet, put it on a Post-it, stick it on your computer, put it on your mirror, put it near your coffee maker, put it near wherever you get your favorite mug, so that when you need it the most and you can't find it in yourself, you have another way of accessing and getting an anchor in yourself. So write that down. The other thing that's really important to do is, and this may sound a little bit strange, but it really does work. And it's something that you can give yourself no matter what, is give yourself a hug. If you need a hug right now, hi Abby, if you can join. If you need a hug right now, give yourself that hug. It doesn't have to come from someone else. It is the beautiful thing that the hug that you need, that you can give to yourself at this very moment in time. Give yourself a good squeeze. Hold on to yourself. Give yourself a squeeze. Atelier Plastic sent a request to be in your live video. Abby, if this is you, can you say, can you answer yes, or can you comment on that? If that's you trying to come in from another spot, can you let me know that so I can let you in? Okay. Okay, very great. Here's the request. I'm going to accept, which is fantastic. Abby, let's see if you're coming on. Do I need to, let me see if, here
Hi.
and oh my gosh, here we
I
are.
had to do it. I was like in the mission. I said I have to finish my duty today. I'm so sorry. I had to find my laptop charger, so my phone is totally off.
I know your phone did something that absolutely does not happen in
I
nature.
was
No
wondering if
one has
the
ever seen
Mercury
it.
retrograde or something.
So planetary, who knows what has
Exactly.
interfered with that. By the way, your hair looks lovely,
Thank you
and
for having me.
I also made sure to do my best today as a non-professional. But since Abby is here, I'm going to introduce her, and we're going to continue together. So I'm so thrilled. And I am beyond thrilled and happy and to have Abby Haliti, who is a prominent, globally renowned hair colorist who we're fortunate enough to have here in New York City. And her skills and her reputation are her stakeholders,
Oh, thank
her
you.
integrity, and she's been recognized by Vogue, New York Times, InStyle. I can go on and on. And Abby is an expert in a process called balayage.
Correct.
And I got that right. She was born in Southeastern Europe. She possesses a diverse education. She has gained recognition for her unique take on hair coloring, and she is really an exceptional person. Abby wrote, and I will just share with you now because we're just jumping in, that when we met at an event and I listened to Abby, I came over to her. First of all, okay, so we're going to talk about a little bit about networking in a little bit, but I met Abby, I listened to her, and I said, Abby, I would love for you to come on as my guest. And she asked me, she says, well, what, why? And I said, what, why? And I looked at her straight in her eyes and I said, you are all in.
I know.
You
I
are an
remember that.
all in person. So I gave a little bit of an introduction to you, a little bit about your bio. So first, what is it in your bio that I haven't said about you that you'd like us to know?
Well, I think you said it all. I think as far as like my career, yes, that's kind of like the role that I play as far as in the beauty business. But I am a mother. I have two beautiful daughters and happily married. So that's the part that, as a family-oriented woman in USA, so I think it's good to have this as far as like just the career-wise.
Yes. So, my first question to you, and this is a free flowing conversation. My first question to you is, what is it that you needed to disrupt inside of yourself in order to have created and achieved your personal and professional success up to this point in time?
Well, I think I had to disrupt myself at during 2021 when COVID hit, and I was always color in a color expertise. Obviously, I built my career in the city, but I lived in New Jersey, so I had a house, I had everything else. And one day, it was just an idea. We decided to open a salon outside the city, and everybody was really shocked that I went off. You know, instead of like going right, I went left.
It's like you went off the
Yeah.
grid. When you leave,
So I
you're like off
remember
the
it
grid.
was just
Yeah.
my own imagination, and I had this intention of like, cause you know, kind of like my husband was like inspiring me. He's like, you're teaching so many people because people were requesting me classes, and he was like, you should do something in New Jersey. I'll manage the people and you teach, and this is it, you know. And I was pretty much ready to go to dive in into a different platform. So when I opened New Jersey Salon, I had it for 6 years, so 2021. But at the same time, when I had the salon in New Jersey, I was still working for other people. So part of my growth as I was growing the team in the city for other people's company and working with my team, I the confusion didn't arrive until I was within, I was disrupted myself. So which is like 6 years over. And when people were telling me like, "Oh my God, you're so like, we're so proud of you," and I didn't feel like I needed that validation from the outside sources because my intentions, I remember like I didn't even have a logo, website. I just needed a space where I could just explore my creativity. Uh, then, at the same time, I was traveling. I did a lot of, these clients that met me in the city. So a lot of people wonder, like, how did I end up in these worldwide traveling to different countries? They met me in the city. They saw the talent that I had. So they really poached me and took me in different side of the world. So I was just loving life. And even my kid, if you ask my child today, she's like, Mom, I've never seen more happy, the Abby happy more than when you travel. And I think the traveling really awakened me a lot because I saw the beauty worldwide, the different nationalities and how people see beauty, not just USA. So then 2021, when COVID hit, and I was thriving. The business was thriving because, a lot of people were driving to the city, so they felt like a safe space. I was even calculating. A lot of clients came to the city from the city. It just became like very the center of the attention. And uh, one day I just uh, even hiring, like I think I learned a lot through hiring process because I would say to people, why would you like to work for me? And the fact, and people were coming to me, the fact that you work for other people and you still have your own business means a lot for you. So I think I was really into like a thriving business, but very in the survival mode. So I didn't have time
Mm-hmm.
to stop as as a mother of two kids, and I just came with that desire to make it happen. And I never said no to anything. I got this, no problem. And I think like my awakening one day, I just said to my husband, I don't want it anymore. And he thought I was crazy. And it was a lot of pressure for me because, everybody was, I gave pretty much a lot of work to like, I employed my whole family in my company.
Mm-hmm.
So then everybody started saying like, oh, my family, it was a lot of pressure. It was a lot of pressure because they were saying to me that I was too sensitive. This is business. You cannot have any emotions. You can just say no. Because I felt like I sensed everything inside my body, but the outside noise was just coming to me and the labeling and, like, why you don't belong here? You belong in the city. And if I went with that intention, where do I belong? I would have never opened New Jersey, right? But that was the convenient part of my journey as a mother of two kids. I lived in New Jersey. But yes, I never left the city. So while I built the business, I was the color director in the city. So then I said, then uh, during the summer when I met my mom, when I sold the business, I said to my mom, I was listening to my mom and as she's speaking, I said, Mom, like, that was the time when I was already in the process. I spread the word that I want to sell the business. And it was really done deal. And when I handed the key, I said, it starts from the top. The top is me. This is all built in. The team is great. And I remember I was so nervous to tell my team this because I was like, oh my God, I felt like I was abandoning my whole family, like, because I built these people. I was very emotional, to be honest. Uh,
Yeah.
it was a really emotional moment. And I get emotional still because it's like giving birth to a baby. And, but at least, that I have a lot of wisdom from my family that my father it started coming through my head. He used to say, as long as you look back and you did something good, never regret anything in life.
So, a couple of things at this moment. First of all, so thrilled to see you here and for you to be sharing this. So, a couple of pieces that I think I'd like to highlight for our
Yeah,
community, because which is that first of all, that you that one, it's not necessary to have all your, you know, I's dotted and your T's crossed, because there will be more that comes on, and at some point you have to take action. At some point you have to take action. So that's one takeaway, and the importance of doing that. And I'm going to ask you more about that in a moment.
yeah,
The second piece is that, and we have a very odd perception of this, which is that our feelings, our emotions, is what makes us human. And this idea that we need to, when we do our work, when we run a business, that the requirement is that you leave your feelings
ab-
at home.
Absolutely.
And and so what I want to ask you, about this is that, you know, when when I was making the video, I said, this is more than
Yes.
color. This is more than color.
Yes.
And so you have to take your emotionality with you.
Abs-
And so where the model was, you've got to be businesslike and all of that, it is who you are as a human being and what gets communicated that
Absolutely.
makes the connection. So
Absolutely.
could you talk about that?
Yes, a very good point. I think that you actually stating that because I think beauty is emotion. So when I was saying that when it comes to beauty, you cannot find gray. I have to feel good in order for me to give the good energy to my clients. And I work with a lot of executive clients that they need to feel good. So I was a person that I couldn't fake it anymore. And I would tell my clients in the seat, I'm like, I don't like this anymore. Like, I don't want to be part of this. Like I love the team and I love the place, but I just feel like my creativity, then, my whole mindset started off in a different way of thinking. And I felt like one day that's what it is. Like the emotions come through the beauty business because you cannot see it as a transaction. And by saying that, but I'm glad that I did New Jersey because when I did New Jersey, that was the 6 years of my college degree. Because as a bilingual, I think I have a very keen eye of listening because I worked with, like I remember my old mentor used to say on 57 and 5th, he's like, if you don't know what you're doing, these women are gonna eat you alive. So I already it's built in my body that I have to listen. So I was I was very it was a aha moment because I was very authentic and I stood up and I said, I don't want to do this anymore. And it was the most beautiful decision that I ever made in my entire life. And this is what I lead now. And I say to anything, to everybody, that no matter what happens in life, you have to be happy. Fame, money, status, that's just something that is just going to be a temporary feeling. And I remember, like, I felt happy working for other people. Even now, like when I opened the salon in the city, people are like, oh my God, aren't you excited to work for like yourself? I said, it really never made a difference. It's not like I opened the salon, so I hated my bosses. I love what I did. You know what I mean? So, and it doesn't make a difference. Even like, but I remember my oldest daughter, I think she's a very wise girl. She read a lot of books, and my reflection of all this learning process, it was through Brianda, and she's listening to me right now. She's like my number one inspiration. My little one is 10, but she read a lot of books. And I remember her, she used to say like, Mom, you cannot do this. This is too much for you. You're working in the city, Mom, you're killing yourself. I'm like, no, 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 I got this. Because I was used to say no. And that's what, like my community was from home, my support system from home. She used to work with me, and and then I said one day, I said, what was I thinking? How do you open a business and you're not there like full time? Because I was going like 3 days in the city, 2 days in New Jersey. I was trying to like mimic Abby in my own place, and then it didn't happen. So I was like, my expectations were very high, and my image in my head, I felt like everybody's going to do what I do for other companies, and I, it was a very aha moment, I have to say.
So, so it doesn't have to be, it doesn't have, there are two things what I have to share with you. It doesn't have to be, I hate my boss and I hate the work and I hate the, blah, 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 and that it doesn't have to come from that. It can
No.
come very much from a space of, this is what I've done. And I feel like I need another step.
Yep.
I need something. I need a different kind of challenge. I need to have more. There's something that's gotten satisfied by doing this, and there's the next that I
The
need to
next.
go on
Oh,
to.
absolutely. Evolving all the time. And I think this is what I told my mom, and this is what this journey is. I mean, for me, success is not like one, two, three. It's a journey. Like success is, and now this is what I learned about myself, that I'm always like, I like, I'm a high achiever. I like to achieve things not for satisfaction of anybody else except me. Like it's like when I look back, this is what I tell my kids. I'm like, you have to give your energy for the universe. This is how you get back the energy back. And I just like to achieve things, not because of anything else. Even like the salon in the city now, like we had a scenario when somebody said, "Oh, we need to have a salon. We need to have a salon. Someone in phone on Mondays because we're on the Park Avenue." And I remember all this wisdom that I've gained, all this noise that people label people, or you do celebrity, and I remember all that doesn't make any difference for me. And I said, I'm not a Park Avenue. I'm Abby. So basically, for me, detachment is freedom. Like I'm not attached to anything besides my mission, my values. If I'm here, I'm here. My intentions, like I said in the meeting, and this is what caught your attention. It's same thing. Like people would say, like, "Oh, well, New Jersey, the celebrity people are not going to go to Jersey." They came, and I would never make it publicly, but it happened. So the prediction, no one knows the prediction. So a lot of people project their own imagination. So what I've learned from that whole experience is like I just listen, but then I have to listen to my gut feeling. My gut feeling is a gift. And I think so far I didn't get this far because I listened to anybody else besides my gut feeling.
There's a that takes skill.
Yes,
It's not that we necessarily just automatically hear ourselves,
yes,
but because this kind of sense is very, very different, and we need to listen. We need to listen. We need to find it. And oftentimes it's right there, but it's not coming in the form that we're used to.
yep,
It's not coming in ideas. It's not coming in a thought bubble. It's coming in to what am I feeling in my heart? Like my chest is feeling, my gut is feeling things. Like what's going on with me? There's something inside of me that's trying to communicate,
yep,
right? So,
yes,
so just for people coming on, we're talking about the importance of listening to yourself, and
absolutely,
so that you can know where you are with you and whether you're in the space you want to be in, whether there's more growth for you to have. And then once you become clear about that, then you can go ahead and start making decisions about action that you want to take. But you
absolutely,
have to bring your awareness to what's going on inside of you. Is that
absolutely. I think that's the key to have, especially, I remember like so many people like in New Jersey while I was building the salon in the city. I mean, in New Jersey while I was working in the city, a lot of women are, they're doctors, executives, like in finance, and they would come to me and say, "Thank you for creating this space. Thank you so much for creating this space." And I remember like I was like, "Oh my God, I didn't want this attention," because my whole philosophy was like, "Oh my God, I just need a space to do the education." And I started off with the mission of I had 15 students from Japan. I would have like salon owners. And I was like, why am I getting this attention? Like, it's just a small space. Like, why am I getting so much praise? But by listening to so much of the feedback from clients, I think this is where I came in and I made bold decisions. Some
yeah.
of my clients are in medical field, and when I started explaining how I felt, actually, one of my clients is a doctor. She's also like you, like a psychiatrist, and she helped a lot of women. She said, "Abby, what you're feeling is valid. You are," she said, she felt what I saw, and she goes, "You are above the ceiling, and everybody's a little bit stuck at the ceiling. She goes, welcome to awakening." She's like, "You are ready to go." She said, "Just sell it, take the money, and center yourself. And whenever you have again aha moment, and if it's not a hell yes, it's a hell no."
Uh-huh.
So that's
That
how I went with that speech, and I was just in my head, always thriving with that mindset.
that's that's really beautiful. And also there's such a sense of trust, as women, and sometimes men feel the same way too. I don't want to leave them out of the picture. That the picture, I mean, here I am, here you are.
Yes,
Where are our squares here? And what do you see? You see me from, from the shoulders
Right.
up. And what frames my is it's
Yep.
this. It's this. I did what I could. I did what I could. Um, but for you, that there's so much trust that happens. There's so much trust of women in trusting. I don't know what's happening here now. Uh, there's so much trust of women and people entrusting themselves to you, and then you bringing that trust as well. So I'm going to continue speaking because I think Abby is. Hi, Natalie. Natalie, thank you for joining. And Jamie, thanks so much for coming on. And we're talking about hair. I think Abby's going to be coming back on. And Jamie, thank you. More counseling. Thanks so much for coming on. So we're talking about self-love and initially, and then Abby Haliti was able to come on. And during that time, she was talking about how one of the ways of loving yourself is by listening to what's going on inside of you, meaning that it's important to hear when you need to have a shift, you need to move forward, you need to make a change for yourself, or you need to stay where you are. Sometimes we want to flee, we want to get away, we want to avoid. And to stay where you are and give yourself that space of growth is really important as well. So self-love comes in many different forms, and self-trust is also part of that picture, that you trust that you're going to be kind to yourself. Um, you trust that you're going to be kind to yourself. You trust that when you fail and you fail hard and you fail hard and you fall, that you're going to be honest with yourself. You're going to look at what happened. You're going to learn from your experience. But what's really crucially important, and we have this terminology of being brutally honest. Uh, and the brutally honest is, you can be honest, but why be brutal? There's no need to be brutal. So Abby, we were just talking about you're upside down.
Yes.
Oh, I'm back in. Okay, here we go. We're going to wrap up. But I was talking about honesty and the honesty, the self-trust to get you up to speed. So there's the
Yep.
self-trust. And part of self-trust is that you're going to hear yourself, you're going to listen to yourself, you're going to see what you're doing, and you're going to be honest with yourself. And that it's so important that when you're honest with yourself, that you don't have to be, there's terminology called brutally honest.
Yep.
Why can't you be honest without being brutal?
Absolutely.
Why would brutality? Gosh, only, we know that more than we need kindness, but why be brutal with yourself? You can get your message across to yourself, hear yourself, trust yourself, and love yourself
Yeah.
without being brutal. And being brutal takes away. People think that if I'm really harsh with myself, that's going to move me forward. And that's really the absolute opposite. So here we are. We need to wrap up for today. I know that you've been such a trooper in getting on, staying on, coming back
Yeah. I'm
on.
so sorry for this,
We'll
but
we'll do another
appreciate.
one.
Yeah, we'll do
We'll do.
another one. But
We'll,
it's a very interesting topic, and I think thank you for capturing that moment.
yeah. So what is your next disruption, Abby?
Right now I have mastered, I'm in a very good place. I just had a general meeting. Now I have like, I have 14 employees and I lead, in a different way. Like my leadership in the back in the days used to be more masculine, like I said to you in the last meeting that I saw you in person. I think now more feminine. So, I went back to the alignment of who my values are, like, and I think feeling that feminine energy is important because the first time actually when I had a meeting yesterday, I said to my team that I was before a career woman more than I was a mom, and now I'm more a mom than I'm a career woman. So it
Yeah.
starts it starts from home. I mean, like hiring people, me, if you're not stable, if you don't have a strong foundation, nothing else will matter. And I think this is what was missing because I overdid it. I never spent time with my family, so until I felt, and I remember like there's so many aha moments that I felt, but everything was just collected in my head. And one of the moments when Roseanne said, "Your legacy is your daughters too, not just work," and that just made me feel like, oh my God, she's absolutely right. So
Yeah.
I'm more present. I'm present with each moment. I don't think ahead. If I know I'm very authentic, so right now I'm in a good place. I'm aligned with my feelings and where I want to be. And the future, I don't know. I think like this, being present is the key. So the future, I don't know what the future holds.
It's everything. So,
Yeah.
so I want to thank you so much for coming on
Thank you.
and for persisting
We'll get
against all
back again.
technological odds, and also, to share the importance of, that sometimes people can see in us what we can't see in ourselves at the moment. And so
Absolutely.
with your daughters, they're telling you, come be here. And I'm a mom as well. And with my daughters, I said, somebody mentioned to me something about, writing a book. And I said, I don't know. And my daughters,
Yes,
uh, because we have to listen, my daughter
absolutely.
said, Mom, you have to write this book.
Yeah, yeah,
Mom,
yeah.
people need to know people need to hear this and know this. So we're thankful. We can be thankful for our daughters. We can be thankful for our sons. We can be thankful to the people who get to meet us and maybe see beyond what we may see at the moment, and to hear someone who I know is all in, and then we go beyond and we say we're making this happen.
Yep.
And here we are on our Instagram. And that trust that trying, here we go,
Yes. Trust the
trust
right.
that trying can
Yes.
help you get where you want
And
to
you'll
go.
figure it out. I mean, there's nothing like, it's A, B, C, D, then you're like, okay, I don't want to do this anymore. It's like I said, the freedom is the key, like you have to be happy.
So I'm going to say one more thing, and then we're going to take our glam shot so I can do our cover shot, and then we're going to wrap up because this we can talk.
I know.
We're gonna meet up, and then
Absolutely.
we'll continue our conversation. Definitely, thank you, Yanni Beach. We're going to be
Oh,
here.
yes. Yanni is
So
amazing.
yeah. So so the importance of trusting yourself, and one of the things that I love that I'm hearing is that being clear about your abilities and talents. I'm just going to leave this and then we're going straight to our glam shot because otherwise we'll start a whole other conversation.
Absolutely.
Being clear about your talent, your ability, and not backpedaling it, not needing to say, well, yeah, kind of, sorta. That if you're clear about your abilities and your talents, that is not, I'm sorry, I don't mean to wag my finger at, but it's so important. That is not arrogance.
No,
That is not arrogance.
not at all.
Don't confuse arrogance with confidence. Confidence is not when, and we're used to like, oh, well, that's not so much. I'm not so good. We're playing tennis. You take the point. Confidence is not arrogance. So let's take
Absolutely.
us and let's take our shot. So you look fabulous. We'll take our shot.
Thank you.
Okay. So come up and so we can take our screenshot. And one more. Thank you, everyone who came on today
We're
to
gonna
join
continue.
us. Yeah,
This is fun. You're amazing. So I'm glad that we had a
yeah,
chance to. I know a lot of people would like to hear all the thought process that we go, in
absolutely.
our life.
Yes. And remember, everyone, remember, positive change can happen at any point. It's not too late. It's never too late. I will see you next time, next week. And remember that I've saved a seat for
Yes.
you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Teresa. Thank you, everyone.
Okay.
Bye bye.
Bye.